I'm Brian Harner. Pastor Dave asked me if I would share mine and Stacy's tithing story with you. About 5 years ago, Stacy and I hit a rough patch financially. It was more than a rough patch. My business was failing, and Stacy had lost her job, the job we moved here to Florida for. So she was having a tough time finding consistent employment, and my business was failing. So during that time, I was also meeting with a mentor. His name's John Ferris, and John pointed me in the direction of the book The Blessed Life by Robert Morris. Stacy and I decided to read it. We really didn't have anything to lose. So during the course of that study, we realized that we were robbing God. Malachi 3:8 says that withholding the tithe is robbing from God. So Stacy and I are like, well, we don't want to steal from God. So we made the commitment to start tithing. Malachi 3:10 then continues, God says, literally, test me and watch how I bless you. It's paraphrasing, of course, but that's basically what it says. So we made the decision to do it, and we did it. Our funds were dwindling. My business was failing. Things got worse after we made that decision, but we kept doing it. So about a year after we started tithing is when things actually started turning around. Stacy did get a job. She got the job she has now at Shriners, but I was still stubborn. I was like, I don't want to go back to corporate work. I'm staying with my business. And even though it was getting worse and worse and worse, and I had less and less income. So I stayed with the business for about 6 or 7 months longer, but we literally got down to our last $300, and we're making plans to move in with my mother-in-law. And I was like, I gotta submit this. I gotta give this to God. And I went kicking and streaming out to look for a job in the corporate world. God blessed me with a job at my current job, well, my current company anyways, and I accepted that job, and that's when the turnaround really started. And Proverbs 3:10 says basically, give and your barns will be filled with plenty and your vats will be overflowing with wine. Well, we hadn't experienced this. We had been tithing now for about a year and a half to 2 years, and other than we got the jobs, so we could see the turnaround was starting to happen, but we still didn't get this overflow of blessings yet. Well, that's when it started, though. When I finally submitted my career, it really started. We then, in the course of the next 4 years now, we're out of debt. We have a lot of blessings. I won't list them all here, but we do have more money saved than we ever had before. We live on about 65% of our gross income, and our income for 2020 was the highest it's ever been. Now, I know a lot of people are out or down and out right now with employment and stuff, and I really don't want to make it sound like I'm bragging. I'm only explaining and telling our story of what faithful God is, because God literally says if you test him and give the tithe, he will bless you. If you give cheerfully, he will fill your barns with plenty and overflow your vats with wine. And that's what he did with us. And it's a true story. And we were down and out. I mean, literally, like I said, we were making plans to move in with my mother-in-law. So I hope I'm telling the story because I believe God wants me to tell the story in hopes that it will encourage others. God bless you, and I hope to see you around church sometime soon.